Hi, everybody. Good evening. I am so happy that you are connecting with me. This is Torah. This is um, some soul coaching for all of you. And tonight we are going to be talking about our filter. We're going to be talking about when we hold back what we're going to say. Okay? And I'm just going to start with a story. And if you're watching, please just say hello. If you're watching on replay, just say replay. And when I was a little girl, I remember I was talking to I think it was a congregant of my dad's, and I must have said something incredibly, you know, hurtful, or something that children say and they're saying the truth, but it's completely inappropriate. And I remember my father saying to me, "You have to think before you speak. You have to think before you speak." And the fact that I remember this, I think I must have been 8 years old. The fact that I remember this tells you a lot about how it impacted me. From that moment on, I was terrified that I would say something that would hurt someone's feelings, embarrass the people around me, embarrass myself, or do something that would hurt my reputation, make someone think that I was stupid, whatever it is. So that from that moment forward, I was really very mindful about what I said out loud. And throughout my, years of introspection and meditation and chaplaincy and this and that, I started to realize how much it ate me up inside. That I was just overwhelmed by how I could hurt someone's feelings. And the people who I want to help the most in this world are the people who eat themselves up because they might possibly hurt someone else, even when they're doing good. So they're working to do good in the world, and at the same time, they're so terrified that they're going to say the wrong thing. And the way I think about this is like the game Operation, where you're trying to do your little operation, and if you hit the sides, then the buzzer goes off. We're so afraid that we're going to misstep, that we're going to touch someone's edge, that we're going to harm them in some great way. And we become very sensitive to this. And I can pinpoint the moment my dad saying to me, "You have to think before you speak." He was right. But I took it to an extreme. And so much so that there are times when it's actually really important for me to say what I'm thinking. But because I got that message, I made meaning out of it to use it in all the scenarios. And what I find is the inner work that we're doing is actually to see, that value of conscious speech and the value of other people's feelings, and see where one is inflated in a scenario, or being applied in a way that is no longer serving me or the other people. So we want to evaluate. We want to see if it's truly working the way we want it to. So I want to let's think about this. In the Mishnah, there is a teaching in Pirkei Avot, which is a beautiful, beautiful collection of very short teachings about life. And there are two versions of the same concept. It says the world stands on three pillars. I want you to imagine like a little stool, and it has it's like a tripod. It has those three legs, and we need those three legs to stand on. And in one version it says Torah, Avodah, which is worship and acts of love and kindness, and in another version it says truth, peace, and justice. So that's the one we're going to be talking about. So each of us, and when we say the world, we can also say every human being is a world in and of herself. So Let's think about this. The person in front of you is a world. You are a world. And your world stands on three pieces: truth, justice, and what was the third one? Oop, this is Vashti. Apparently Vashti's going somewhere. Hey Vash, say hello. Hi. Truth, justice, and peace. Now, I find that the biggest hearted people in the world, their peace is really, that's like a very developed leg to stand on. We're very good at making peace. We make the most out of a challenging situation. We want everyone to feel good. Let's build consensus building. Vashti, you can see her. She's so excited. Consensus building, and you think about yourself writing an email and crafting a certain message in a way that, you know, it says what you want to say, but it's not going to hurt the other person's feelings. That's peace. Okay? And it's an amazing tool. It's an amazing gift to give to the world. Okay. And then on the other side of that is justice. And I find that people who are very strong on peace, on the other hand, also have a strict sense of justice. Is she distracting? She's distracting me. So this strict sense of justice, which means that I know what's right, there's only one way to do it, or I'm so bad, you're so good, or you're bad and I'm good. Or let's get to that place where you're so tapped out and you know, you think that things are not fair, right? There's a concept that things need to be fair, and that's justice. So people who are kind of have these very two strong points, I would say that the third leg, truth, is not being exercised and relied on enough. And truth is the area where you actually speak what's inside. Doesn't mean you run your mouth. Doesn't mean that you are careless. But it does mean an opening up of saying what you feel, saying what you think, saying what you see. And that can be very hard because we're afraid that we're going to be sending messages that we don't intend. If I say that I'm upset about something, the other person may feel so guilty, and I don't want to cause anyone to feel pain or shame. But if that means that I'm keeping that truth, the emet, inside, then that's imbalanced. And we are called on to have balance. And that means that your life has become a runaround for other people's feelings. But we need emet, we need truth. You need to be able to share truth. And we don't trust it. We don't trust that our relationships are going to survive our truth. And so I suggest people, you know, find one person to start this out with, and to be able to share thoughts and feelings and to share a little truth at a time. The greatest gift in a relationship for me is a partner, is a friend that is able to invite me to say something that might be inconvenient to them, but they love me enough for me to want to say it. And I hate that I've needed people to unlock me in that way, to show me that it's safe for me to say what I need and what I think, even again when it's inconvenient. But part of joy and part of living is living that authentic inner aspect of the self. And I'm coming back to that word inconvenient a lot, the inconvenient truth. It's not just about the environment. we oftentimes are so afraid that our feelings are inconvenient, that our needs are inconvenient, that we try and ignore them or pretend they're not there just for the sake of peace. But again, that means that our world is imbalanced. So I have a worksheet on this for you to really watch, to become aware of this habit of not saying what you think or contorting yourself in such a way that you say it in a way that is so, no one could possibly be upset with you. But then how much energy have you spent on that? Another piece to keep in mind is that when we contort ourselves in that way, it's as if we're saying to the other person, I don't think you can take a little truth. Maybe we can give people a little bit more credit that they can handle themselves if we say something. Okay, so if you're interested in this worksheet, it's a worksheet for the week, and all it does is has you keep track of a few times throughout the day when you've noticed that you held back saying something. And you don't have to do anything with it. You don't need to change your behavior. You can just notice. That is the first step, just noticing. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in that worksheet, then just write interested in the comment box. I hope you have been enjoying. If not me, then you've been enjoying Vashti. And so again, I hope that this was meaningful. And by the way, next week I'm going to be rolling out a very, very exciting project that I'm doing with a few other coaches. So stay tuned. And